I think we see the world a lot differently too. I think motherhood has amplified our personalities. Do you scheduleize your kids?
Yes.
We're just jumping right into it.
Okay, yeah, no, definitely. But I think I've gotten way more lax after the second kid, but definitely a schedule mom.
And I'm completely opposite. Although I think we follow routines, I'm not as scheduled as you are. And I think because it's funny because we're identical twins. We have the same mom. We were raised the same way. But I think we parent completely different. And I think this is why we had to have this episode. Welcome to the Mom Department. I'm bringing back my sister, Sarah, and we are going to have a chat about parenting. We're going to have chats about how we are twins. We were raised the same. We're roommates. And I think that we were raised the same, but I think it's so funny how different our parenting style is. I think we're pretty similar, like personality wise, although I think we have stark differences. I think we're pretty similar.
I'm not.
Yes. We have similar, like, I think, personalities and temperaments, but we kind of think differently. We parent quite differently. And I think this would be very interesting to dive into.
Yeah.
I think today it would be great to kind of like get into like things like the sleep with children, like sleep routines, getting into discipline, screen times, and seeing how we differ on different things. And obviously people are different, people parent differently, but I think it's very interesting to kind of see what that dynamic is between the two of us and how we share. Like we talk a lot, we bounce things off of each other, and I think it'd be interesting to like kind of dive into that. What do you think?
No, that's really great because I think, like, again, we have a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
I would say even in like our laid back approaches, but then a lot of differences. And I think a good point to also say is like we have husbands that have different point of view, which
Yep.
influence that.
Yeah, so let's give some context so people can kind of understand between like what our families are like. Like obviously I have 4 kids, so it's a lot different. I have more kids than you, so I have 4 kids and I'm younger than you, which is so funny.
Okay, girl.
That's a dynamic.
30 minutes younger.
I'm a younger. I'm younger. I'm the youngest. I have 4 kids, ages from 6 all the way to 8 months. Obviously married. You know, we're a homeschooling family. I don't work. I'm a stay-at-home mom. Well, don't work. My work at home is work, but I'm a stay-at-home mom. I homeschool. So we're home all the time. So that's kind of a little context about my family. What about yours, Sarah?
Yeah, I have 2 kids, 2 boys, ages about to be 4 and 18 months. Both my husband and I work. I'm trying to think what else. We're married. And
what do you think your house structure? I forgot. Like my house structure is like we run on more so routines rather than like strict schedules. You know, schedules freak me out. Like when I feel like I know I have to be a certain place or I have to do something at a certain time, that kind of freaks me out. So like I'm more so like I don't know. I call myself type B, but my husband thinks I'm like a super type A type person, but I don't know. I kind of like to go with the flow. I like to have an idea of what my day's like, but I feel like I tend to just go with the flow. Like our house isn't super strict on certain things. What about you?
I feel like I'm a type A with very type B personality, but I think that's a Sagittarius in this.
Yep.
Like
We were very free spirited.
Exactly. Like I can follow a schedule and I like having like a schedule. It helps me understand and my kids to expect what's gonna happen. But I also like, to go with the flow, which like I'm sure pisses off my husband, but I'm very like scheduled.
Is he more strict?
On certain things, I would say like very strict on education and manners or principles, as he likes to call them. But then like he also sometimes like likes the flexibility of being able to like go with the flow on whereas like sometimes I'm like, yo, we're gonna follow this and this.
Yeah, I can see that. All right, so let's start with one of the biggest topics, sleep. I think because we kind of approach sleep training or sleep differently. Obviously, I was the first one to have kids before you. So with your kids, did you sleep train? I forget if you actually no, I know for a fact you did because Ari is your first is super on schedule.
I sleep trained the first. Like I can't even remember when we started sleep training. It might have been like he might have been like 6 months. We started to like
Really?
6 or 7 months. I think we started to like sleep train him. Um, and before then, he was sleeping in our room, but was sleeping in a bassinet. He was, thank God, he was a great sleeper.
Yeah.
And for me, I love my sleep, and so, but before I was like, our doctor was like, if you guys like he was had when they're like 3 or 4 months or 5 months or whatever, like they start to have like their sleep starts to change, and
Yep.
that's what he was
I'm
from, like
going through that.
yep, like he loves to sleep. He was always a great sleeper from like once we brought him home from the hospital, but then the tide started to turn, and then she was our doctor or his pediatrician recommended that we sleep train. I know you guys may not like it, but like I mean, granted, for me, I was like, all right, let's do it. It was hard, but not for me. I was like, I think I had no issues with like the cry it out.
Yeah.
Nick was like,
I know that's super controversial, but I've done it.
it helped us dramatically.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet. Okay, so like with our first, I feel like we slept trained because I was like, you have to sleep train. Like I remember like obviously with your first baby, you feel like you have to do all the things so you don't mess up your kid. And I feel like with my first,
You did it, yeah.
I did. I started sleep training her at like 4 months. I'm like, you should already, I don't know. I don't even know where I was looking at this. Maybe like, I don't know, Instagram or whatever. I'm like, most likely Instagram was like, your kid should be sleeping by this age. And I'm like, my kid's not sleeping like that. I'm tired. And I was like, oh, it's because I'm not disciplining. She's not disciplined. She's not sleep trained. And I remember at 4 months old, I was like, all right. Like I started sleep training every nap. Like I would do like the wake sleep.
The wake window.
Yeah, the wake window.
That's what I did for both of my kids.
Yeah, I'm like, the wake windows. I'm like, you have to be awake at this time. You have to go to sleep at this time. You have to be fed at this time. And I was like, special bottles at this time. And I was like, I need to sleep train you so you can sleep. So like, because if I'm not doing it, I'm not a good mom. But I'm like, oh my gosh, I put so much pressure on myself. And I remember I used to keep like on my like notes app, I had like notes on the times that she's supposed to be waking up and going to sleep. It was like kind of crazy. I remember I slept. I mean, I did sleep training with my first, and it went well. Obviously, it was fine. I got sleep, but I think after like more kids, after I had more, I think I did a little bit with my second. And then after that, I just kind of like fell off. And I was just like, nothing exists anymore. It's like you go with the flow. Like I'm always like on the go. So I'm like, I don't have time.
Like naps or what do you call it?
Contact naps.
Contact naps.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't have time. Okay. So what about co-sleeping? Did you do co-sleeping?
A little bit. So for which kid?
Both.
Yeah. So for the first, we did it a little bit like when it's his sleep started to change. I was like, okay, he's sleeping better if he's like right next to us and like we didn't have to get up. But then like when the pediatrician recommended that we try like cry it out, then he never slept with us again. It was amazing. And the second baby, because he was exclusively breastfed, like which we did it with our first, but up until a certain point, but the second one didn't want to let it go. So we co-slept with him. Can't even remember. It might have been around 7 or 8 months or 9 months when we moved him out of our room because he would have a little bit of a longer stretch asleep.
I remember.
And then, but I would still co-sleep with him if he woke up in the middle of the night. I'd just go to the guest room with him, let Nick sleep, and then I would like co-sleep with him in our guest room. I would do that like a lot. But yeah, again, like you said, for a second kid, everything gets thrown out the window.
Okay, I could see that. And you know me, I co-sleep. Like I did it. I remember.
You don't like sleep, clearly.
I do. I love sleep, but like I haven't slept in a very long time. So I'm just like, I remember sleep when my kids finally like sleep on their own and they sleep through the night. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Yes. And then I have another baby. But like I remember co-sleeping. I didn't do it all that. I did it with my first, but not all that much. I like we kind of just like shipped her off to her own bed after like 5 or 6 months. Like I don't remember her. Actually, even before that, I don't think she slept with me all that much. My second one, kind of. Third, fourth is just like, falling off the rails. Like we just co-sleep constantly. Like even my 2-year-old is still coming into my bed every night. So like by the end of the night, we have like 4 people in our bed. Like we have the baby, me and my husband, and then like my 2-year-old.
Sick work.
It's crazy.
It's nuts. I remember like even when my 4-year-old is like when he comes into my bed, something inside me angers me. Like,
because it's crazy.
I don't enjoy kids sleeping in my bed. I don't know. Am I like a bad mom? No. I don't like kids in my bed.
No, I actually don't like it either because I don't sleep all that great because you're aware of them and you're where they are. So I don't sleep all that great. You know, it makes me think, what did mom do? I think I asked you this earlier. What did mom do with us? I have an idea of like when we were little or even with the kids, like when I don't think mom slept with us. Like, I think when we were older, we would go into their beds, but I don't think as babies she slept with, like, mom is not that she's not loving, but I don't think she's like that, like, she used to say that she didn't want the kids to be too clingy because she knew she had to work. Yeah. So I don't think she was like that, like clingy like that.
Yeah, I honestly have no idea. I feel like she probably maybe like when we were nursing, because she said we nursed at least until 3 months or something like that. Yeah. And maybe she probably kept us near our bed and then put us in our bed.
Yeah, like I can't imagine that she slept with us because just knowing her personality, I don't think she would. Yeah. What do you think? Yeah, like I was literally thinking about that. I'm like, I don't, because I'm like,
you should have asked her.
I should have asked her. I forgot.
I can't imagine that she co-slept with us. And if she did, I don't think she did it for long.
Yeah, and I think, you know, it's funny because after we've had children, like my mom always stays with us a month after any of us have kids. She'll tell, it kind of gives me a little insight on kind of what she did, because what she'll advise us to do, because she'll be like, oh, like you like put the baby down, don't hold the baby. Like she's staunch, like she's very strict about like not holding the baby too much to not spoil them. But I think that's like a Haitian, because we're Haitian. I think that's like kind of a Haitian thing. Like you don't want to spoil the baby. And I know I'm super different because Sarah, you don't call me crunchy, but you're a lot like that too.
Yeah, we don't believe spoiling, especially when they're like, well, for me, I did a lot of contact naps with my,
I don't think you can hold the baby enough. Yeah, I'm a firm believer of like, hold that baby.
Yeah, I will hold my like kids to sleep for daytime naps. Like I love it. Nighttime I don't enjoy it, but like they are like, oh, baby sleeping on you is like the sweetest thing in the whole world.
Yeah, she used to get so mad. She'd be like, you need to put that baby down. You'll regret it. Like when they're like clingy, I'm like, I don't care. Yeah. They're only this small for so long. Like I would rather hold them.
Don't get me nostalgic. I don't want to have another baby.
All right, so let's talk about discipline. I think this is where we're quite different.
Wait, discipline as in like discipline?
Like disciplining children.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like I think that I could see that.
I'm very lax.
It's funny because Mike, which gets me so mad. You know what he calls me? The warden.
You are.
I'm not the warden, and it pisses me off every time he says it.
Oh, the sheriff's belt.
I think this is where we are kind of pretty different, because our mom was very, very strict. And
my dad was very lax.
Yes, he's very lax. And I think that this is where we completely branch off on things. I would say I'm more so adopting my mom's style of parenting, and you're more so like dad.
Yeah, which literally, until we just said this right now, I never thought about it. Like I never really considered myself lax on discipline, but I would say thank God. Like my first kid was very rules based. He follows the rules. He's not like a troublemaker or rule breaker or anything like that. Well, my second one's gonna start giving me a run for my money. Yeah, but I'm not. So I never really thought I'd have to like discipline really, because even like what do you call it, timeouts? Like I rarely time out.
Oh, I'm very strict.
Like I don't.
I'm very strict.
Yeah, I'm not that way at all.
Yeah, I'm very much like, but it's funny because I remember when me and my husband would talk about, like before we had kids, or like when I was pregnant with my first, we talked about like, what did we think we were going to do? And I was like, I like fully bought into that I'm going to be the gentle parenting, and I was all into like gentle parenting, and this is exactly how I was going to parent. No, I'm not a gentle parent. Well, not that I'm not gentle with my kids, I just don't fully buy into the gentle parenting kind of stick. That's not my thing. No, like
I'm not reasoning with a 2-year-old or whatever.
Yeah, you can't reason with them. I mean, some people believe that's on them, but personally for me, like I'm just more so like, you have to obey what mommy and daddy say. Like, it's just that is a rule in our house. Like, there's no discussion. Like, unless, like, obviously I'm not like super strict about like stupid things. Like kids or toddlers, they make mistakes, whatever. But I'm like, mommy says to do something, you're going to do it. There's no ifs, and or buts. You don't do it, there's a consequence and that's it. Like, you know me, I'm very like strict. And I think that that's how mom was growing up. She was
and like authoritarian,
very authoritarian. I don't consider myself that, but my husband says like you're very like strict.
Yes, that's you. You are the warden. Like Mike is Mr. Fun Time, and you're the
Which pisses me off. Like you parent, you pigeonholed yourself into like the fun parent, and I'm like the strict parent. But
that's
I'm
what
like,
Nick says. Nick's like, oh, you always make me look at the bad guy. Okay, I think for like my kids, I don't like. I don't know. I think especially for my first, he's such a like. He's such a like I don't know good kid. Like he's like very sensitive. He's like he doesn't follow. So when he does act out of line or whatever like that, I know like all I need to do is talk to him a little sternly and he'll correct himself or whatever. But like when those times where he does it, I've never thought I'd be the one to be like, just wait till your daddy. And I'll say that now. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna tell your daddy. On
is that
like, oh no, I do that. Like
it's actually funny because like mom was like really really strict with us, and I remember that like you did not want to like not listen to her or not obey or whatever. And obviously dad was like the more gentle, like I would say dad was like the gentle, yeah, we can get away with it a lot. And I'm just like, wow, I see like I've turned into mom in this sense. I don't know if it's a good or bad thing. I guess I'll see when I grow up. But I mean, I appreciated having, like, for me, I feel like my kids appreciate when they know where the line is, like where there's the boundary. And I feel like when they know where the boundary is, they know, like, I feel like they feel safe in that box of what they can or can't do, especially around me. And obviously, when I send them out into the world when they get older, hopefully, like, it'll imprint on them. So I don't know. I hope that my approach is okay.
You think about it, I was like, oh my god, do I need to be stricter?
No, I think again, my philosophy has been like no family is the same, no kids are the same. What works in one house may not work here. Your kids just might be a little. Yeah, it depends on the kids and the amount of kids. I'm like, for me, I'm like, because I have a lot of kids, I just can't let it be chaos. Like, if it'll just like if things would just spiral if I just like let them not to be unruly without consequences, without structure, or more like not that like we're structured, but like more so like there's rules, and if you cross that rule, because I can't have my eyes on you guys all the time, like there's just things that you have to listen to, and if you don't, there's a consequence, because one day if you fall outside of that line, you could get seriously hurt. Yeah. Especially if I'm not able to keep my eye on every kid at every single moment. I want to talk about what is something as a parent that you swore that you would never do that you do.
That's a good question.
I feel like there's so much that we've said that we would never do as a parent. Like before, because our eldest sister had kids before us, and then when she was on, I was like, I would never do that. And then when I have kids, I know for me, I know what that is. Pacifiers past a certain age. Because my older sister, her kid I remember used a pacifier, like she could have been like 2 or 3 or whatever. Or maybe she was 2 or something like that. And I was like, I would never let my kid use a pacifier for that long. Boy, did I eat my words. My kid was on that passy till she was 3. I had 2 passy kids. Like my first 2 loved their passies. And then when they wouldn't get rid of it, I was just like, you won't use a pacifier forever. You'll stop when which they both naturally stopped. Like when my third was born and they noticed that a baby was using it, and then they connected the fact that babies use pacifiers, and they were like, oh, I'm not a baby anymore. They eventually got rid of it, but they were like old. They were like 2 and 3. Yeah. But that was one thing I swore I would never do. And then there was something else too. I think that I swore I would never be a TV mom.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, because I would say I agree with the first 2, because I mean the 2 that you just said, like one, I said the same thing. I'm not gonna be like, oh, you're not gonna have a passy for so long. So I was like, oh, I'm not gonna mess up my kid's teeth or whatever. By the grace of God, when he did stop at like 2.5 or something like that, like his teeth like straight. And then the other one was screen, and I'm like, I'm gonna limit screen time. And we had a great nanny that limited screen time, even though I was doing it. Oh, I would be doing it during dinner. And I had a horrible habit. Like I get so overstimulated by like the evening and work and all that stuff, and then you had a kid just like
yapping in your
the whole
ears.
time,
Yeah,
especially during dinner time. So I'd have like screen time, so I'd at least get to have a moment in my thoughts. My husband is the one that like eliminated screen time during dinner. I wouldn't have let it go, and it wasn't even like my kid. It was me who was not gonna let it go.
I
But yeah,
agree.
those are the two things I would say for me. It's like screen time, or I thought I wouldn't do it during dinner. But yeah,
Yeah, I thought I wouldn't be a screen mom. I was like, not that like, obviously every family's different. I was like, my kids are not going to watch TV. Yeah, my kids watch TV. I mean, and it is what it is. I mean, I think back at when we were kids, and sometimes I'm like, oh, my kids watch too much TV today, but I'm like, it's fine. I came out fine. I watched TV. I remember I watched TV as growing up as a kid, so my parents, I was fine. Yeah. I grew up like, but obviously like the show. I think it's for me, if they're watching TV, I try it's not perfect all the time, but like at least it's not something that's like overstimulating or something that's like at least not enriching their brains. Obviously, sometimes they watch stupid stuff, but whatever. Like
one thing that was different from us than kids is that like we could only watch TV in front of a television set. Well, now you have iPads, you have like phones, so they can be
watching it anywhere.
like in a car, and they could be at a restaurant. Like we didn't have that, so I feel like screens is so different than us growing up. We could only watch TV if you're at home and you're like in front of a television set.
True.
Well,
I didn't even
now
think of
it's just,
that.
like
Anywhere.
anywhere.
Well, one thing that we have with our family, we've decided not to do iPads. Like we have iPad, like me and my husband have iPads, but we've decided not to give my kids any iPads. Obviously, I don't judge anybody who gives their kids an iPad that works for your family. We've just decided that that's just not something that we want to bring into our family. Monitoring purposes, we can't always see what they're watching, whatever, if they have an iPad. And then we just don't want that habit of just them just glued to the iPad. Yeah. And another thing was we don't do screen times in the car. I'm like, that is something I'm like, I feel like when we were growing up, one thing I did love is that obviously these didn't exist, but I love that me and you, we would sit in the back and just chat. And that's what our kids do now. They sing songs, like we'll play music for them, or they'll just sing songs and just talk. And I really, really appreciate that. And then they get to learn directions because they get to focus on what's going on around them. That's just what we chose to do. So I want to ask, be honest. Be honest.
I am being honest.
Do you ever judge my discipline style?
No, I don't judge your discipline style because I would say in some ways I feel like I should probably be doing some of that. Like, when you put them on the stairs I was like, oh, maybe I should do it. Granted, it never occurs to me in the time, like in the point in time where I should be doing it. Mm-hmm. But no, I was like, I think for certain things I should probably be doing it. So I don't judge your discipline style. No.
Do you think I'm too strict?
No. I don't think you're too strict at all. No. I've never thought about it. I was like, no, it's never been like, okay, you're wilding. No. Like it's never crossed my mind where I think that like, oh, she's wilding right now. Like, no.
All right. I want to do a quick fast round. What your thought is on certain things that like people do nowadays. All right. Candy and sugar. Do you give your kids candy and sugar?
No.
Is that it's because your kids don't like it?
Yeah, I would say like, okay, it's easy for me because like my first is a weirdo. He doesn't really like sugary things, although he's just now starting to get a taste for like ice cream, mm-hmm. which my husband like gives it to him all the time. But yeah, no, I don't really have it. It's an unfair question for me because I don't really have that that issue because they don't really care about it.
My kids love candy. My kids are those kids. They love sugary things. So I'm like, that is one thing actually I will say in the future we are trying to limit, but they do love candy. Like they'll go to the store, candy. We do give them candy.
Yeah, my kids don't really care about if like, for example, like the second if he sees like a lollipop, he'll have one, but he doesn't like. They don't really ask for candy.
Do you enforce eating everything off your plate?
No. I would say I try to do it with the oldest. Granted, he only has like a couple things that he'll eat. So if he has, I try to enforce it. But other than that, no, I'm also awful in terms of like food. Like I'm not strict in terms of like veggie, protein, like I should be, but I know I'm not.
I feel like I'm very like 50-50 on that too.
No, you're way better at it than I am.
Me?
Yes, enforcing eating off your plate.
Well, yes, you're gonna try it at least. Like, I think, like, for me, I'm like, you're gonna at least try it. Like, I don't care if you don't like, you don't have to like it, but you are going to
Yeah, no,
try
I'm not.
it.
After everyone, like, they're like, oh no, and they're like, I'm not going back and forth with you. I'm awful. I would give up.
No, I'm like, you are going to try it. But yeah, but I do pander to what they're like, so I will make them what they like.
I make them what they like all the time. No, but you're better at it than me because you'll still make things that they don't like and make them eat it, or they
Well,
don't
that's
have any
true.
dinner. Like you're like, again, you're much better at that than
And
me.
our mom was like that too.
Yes,
She
like
would
she would.
make us
Oh,
eat.
you'd sit there the whole night. I mean, I think that's an old style parenting. You'd sit
Yeah.
there all night where you're not gonna eat. Like,
And-
which I need to.
And we ate.
I think I need
and
to
we
go
ate
back
it.
and do. Yes, exactly. I need to go and do that because like I'm awful.
Do your kids do chores?
No. Okay, what do you mean by chores?
I don't know, like, do they have to like water the plants, clean, I don't know, empty out trash cans, or like make their beds? Like chores, like things around the house. The chores are things that help it's the well-being of the whole family.
I mean, no, not really. Like,
Actually, no. You said your first does, he gives the dog food.
yes, he puts out her food. Like we taught him how to do it, and he thinks it's like a game. Like he goes and like I was like, oh, go put out Ava's food. So he'll go, he'll scoop it and put it into
That's a
the
chore.
drawer. Okay, yeah, he'll do that. And then they clean up after their own toys and all that stuff. But
That's not a chore.
okay, but they're
That's what they're supposed to be doing.
no, I haven't like found a chores for them to do. Like, although, yeah, I know. See, this is like the type B parenting that I haven't done, which I know is not great because, I mean, we did chores growing up.
Yes, we
I have not
cleaned.
started doing that.
I'm not too good at it either. I'm like, and I made a whole chore chart and stuff like that. I actually need to print that out and actually have them do, but I never actually enforce it. Like, but sometimes like I'll have them like they have to clean up their plates after they eat, like clean up and put it in the sink. Actually, and then sometimes they empty out the trash cans around the house.
Yeah, no, mine don't. Although sometimes the first will like be with my husband and he'll like help him take out the trash, but it's not a chore. He just like likes to do that with him.
Yeah, it's fun for them.
Yeah.
I mean, they think that what we do that we hate is like fun. I think my kids need chores. Like, I think we were better for it because my husband wasn't made to do chores, not really growing up. And there's not a lot, I had to teach him a lot of things.
No, it's
Yeah. So like, and I think that
we
we were given chores, and I think that we were able to understand how to do certain things growing up. Like now, like as we were older, and I don't want to like not mess my kids, but I don't want to like stunt them and not give them those skills. I need to be better at doing like chores. Like this is what you're supposed to be doing. I have a chore chart that I created and I need to print it out, and I need to implement that. This is actually a good thing.
better at doing it than I am. Like, remember my kid didn't know how.
Oh my gosh, your kid slept over her first kid slept over my house. And because I mean I thought he did this at home. Like my kids, when they finish eating, from oldest to youngest, they clean up their plate. You wipe your plate, you like empty it in the trash or whatever leftover food, you empty in the trash, you put in the sink. And I told her son, I was like, hey, go clean up your plate. And I don't think he'd never done it. Well, I'm assuming he'd never done it before. He took the plate and put it in the trash.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, what are you doing? And I told you that he's never done it before.
Yeah, and so now like I would say sparingly I'll have him do it. Like if he like, especially if he made a mess, I'll be like, oh, go clean up your hand, go clean up the thing, and then go wash your hands. Like so, he's now starting to understand to do it when if I tell him to do it. But it's not a routine. Like I need to like implement it as a routine that they do. So yes, you're better at that. And that story always tickles me.
All right, for boredom, do you fix it for them or do you just let them figure it out?
I'm gonna let them figure it out. My husband isn't though. Like he wants them to have like activities only because he hates like TV people.
Yeah,
He's like
I see.
he like equates it to like laziness, and so he does not want them to like grow up to be lazy, and so he wants them to very much like. I think he wants them to like be activities based, like always have something to do. So for me, I'm like, let him figure it out, whatever.
That's
and
me.
he like wants us to like have activities.
Yeah, I'm the type that I know that it's funny because our older sister, she like if her kids are bored, she feels like she has to fill that boredom for them.
But she's also an activities person.
Yeah, she's an active. Maybe it's like an activities type. Maybe that's like a personality trait thing. Because I'm like, I personally don't care if my kids are bored. Like they'll tell like, they just learned what the word bored means because I think I've said it to them. But she's like, I'm bored. I'm like, that's good when you're bored because when you're bored, you get creative. Like when we turn off the TVs, I'm like, go find something to do. They're like, I'm bored. That's good. I'm like, you're gonna find something. That means you're gonna find something to do. And they're like, what? Find something. And that's the first thing I say. Find something to do. Okay, so we've talked a lot about like what kind of makes us different. I want to talk about kind of the behind the why. Why do you think we're a lot different like as parenting? Like we clearly grew up the same. We had the same mom. We grew up. I do feel like kids who are different ages tend to grow up a little bit differently because they had their parents at different times in their parents' lives. But I think we have a unique situation in the sense that we're twins, so we had the same kind of parents. We grew up the same. So I really want to kind of dive deeper into why do you think we parent a lot differently?
I don't know. I feel like it stems from like our adult personalities. Like as we grew up, we grew into our own, and I think that shaped our ideologies. And it's like again, a bit of it's like personality based. Like as we've gotten older, or as we've gotten older in our like our adult lives, I've come to realize how similar you are to our mother, which is really weird because I would never have said that like growing up. But like as you've gotten older, you very much turned into our mother. And I would say like I have qualities of our mom as well, but I've also come to realize that okay, I can be very similar to my dad.
Yeah.
My dad was very routine based. My dad was very not calm. I'm not saying like he's very lax in certain ways and like I don't know, I've come to realize like I'm a lot like my dad personality wise, which trickles into how I parent at the same time. And um I don't know, I feel like that's what it's in my mind, that's how I rationalize it, is that like as we grew into our adult selves, we our personalities kind of really drove how we parent.
I could see that, and I didn't think of that like as you said that like as our adult personalities or like kind of as we grew into our own, that's kind of helped maybe shape our motherhood experience, and that's true because I kind of think about even kind of our interests kind of shaped what we are. Like I feel like when I got older, I got really much into like the crunchy kind of thing. Like I really was into motherhood and parenting. But I also do think that that's always been my personality. Because I remember as a kid, like I used to, we would be home on like vacation, and I'd be watching like Baby Story. Like I was always into motherhood. Like I've always loved wanting to be a mom and love babies. But I think as I got older, I got more into like learning about home birth, learning about doulas, learning about all of that. And I think that kind of leached into kind of the way I see motherhood and where I see life and kind of how I parent. Like when I became saved, I'm raising my kids in the Christian faith. I think as we grew up, like our interest in things that we've kind of gotten into kind of shaped our parenting. I don't know. It's wild because you are complete opposite.
Yes.
Like you were like, I am not going to homeschool.
Oh hell no.
I'm not doing, but you did do, although you're not into natural birth, you did natural with both kids.
Yes, I did have my kids natural in a hospital, and I think it's mainly obviously like my beliefs in terms of how certain things should go. And yeah, I don't know. It's like there's things that I think we have the same beliefs in certain things, but then we go about certain things very differently. But
I think we see the world a lot differently too. I think motherhood has amplified our personalities.
Yes, that's great. It is true. Like again, I see a lot of our mom in you, and I'm like,
yeah, I think
you're
I think the traits are now showing up in our parenting.
yeah. Like
It's wild.
you love to cook just like mom. You like to garden just like
Sewing,
sewing,
all of
like
that
all
kind
of
of-
those types of things that like mom really likes. Like,
which is why we get along pretty good. We do. Although I personally don't think I'm like her, but it's funny.
You are. Like, even you can even talk like her. Like, you are Vaughn.
And it's so funny because I can see how you are like our dad, more so in like you're very much more lax. What's something that you admire that I do as a parent? And then I'm going to tell you, and I'll tell you what I admire about your parenting.
Okay, I would say I admire the way you're bringing up your children in the Christian faith. Obviously, we grew up Christian, and I am very much a believer, but I am not always great at instilling that in my children.
Yeah.
I think it's probably in the past year that my kids have started to really understand it, because like my husband and I are both aligned to wanting our kids raised in that, and we're like, we're going, like, we go to church now, or if we're not going to church, like, we're watching it at home. And so he understands now, like, he understands, like, who God is, who Jesus is. And, they're listening to Christian music more now. And, but I'd say, like, I'm not always consistent. Like, we're not always doing prayers before bed. Like, it was funny the other night. I was like, all right, let's pray. And Ari's like, I don't want to pray to God. I was like, Jesus Christ. So it's like, I think I admire that. Like, you guys are going about it in the right way and instilling that in your kids. Even though I call your kids Jesus freak kids, but I admire it. Like, I think it's great.
That's funny. No, it's funny because I'm like, I always think that like I'm not doing a great job at like discipling the kids. So it's very heartwarming to hear that that's what you admire. Because I'm like, I don't always think. I feel like I'm like my worst critic. Like I don't think I'm doing. I don't always think that I'm doing a good job, but it's very
I think you guys are going about it in the right way.
I would say that one thing I admire about what you guys you and your husband do as parenting is like definitely putting your kids in activities. Cause I'm like, I think that I lack doing that. Cause I'm like, it's a lot, like a huge commitment. Like actually there's a couple of things. Like I admire that you guys like put your kids in like lots of different activities, like expose them to different things. I think I suck at doing that. And I admire kind of more, not hands off, but you're a lot more, I would say, not gentle, but like you're a lot different than me. Like obviously when we talked about this with discipline and stuff like that, you're a lot more relaxed. I wish I could be a lot more like, but I mean, I think it might be our kids' personalities, but I think I sometimes I'm like, oh, you're a lot more relaxed than I am. And I like that. I appreciate that. I think that's very sweet. And you could see it in your kids. Like your kids have such a sweet disposition to them. So I really, really admire that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I borrowed from you guys. I feel like there's so much. You teach me a lot.
We have like a little like mom circle things with the way, like, just you, and not even just you and I, are like our two older sisters as well. Like we're always like on the phone, whether it's like we're bitching about what's going on, or kids driving us crazy, but we're also like sharing tips on like what we should be doing or how we're approaching certain things. If kids are sick, like remedies, like I don't know. I love our little village.
I do too. I think that we learn so much from each other. And I think I appreciate that so much, like being able to go through life, especially because we have kids around the same age. So we're sharing tips. And I think it just really helps. Like, although our households are so different, although we parent differently, we're different people, we learn from each other. I'm like, oh, I wouldn't do it that way. Maybe I'd approach it this way. And even when we bring situations to each other, you're like, oh, I didn't think of it that way. Or like, I really, really appreciate that. And I'm so thankful that we have each other to bounce things off of and just to like see things differently if we need to see things differently.
Yeah. Agreed.
Okay, so I want to just close this out. I think we've gone into kind of our parenting styles, how we're different, how we're alike, and kind of where it comes from coming from our own parents, which I think was very insightful. So let's close this out.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's what I want anyone who's listening to take away from this episode. I don't think there's any one right way to be a mom. And I think that, as you've heard from us, that we're still figuring it out. We grew up in the same house, but we turned out completely different. I think we have similar thought processes sometimes, but we're completely different in the way that we parent. And I think that's fine. Have a strong stance on just because people do things differently doesn't mean that they're wrong. I think everybody just parents differently because every kid is different, every household is different, every need in the house is different. If you're listening here today, I want you to comment down below and tell me what's one parenting choice that you're most confident in and one that you're still figuring it out. Again, we came from the same womb, we had the same childhood, same mom, but we're different moms. And I think that's totally fine. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.